Imagine standing at the edge of a vast farm where not a single human hand touches the soil. Robots glide between crop rows with mechanical precision, harvesting produce at remarkable speed. Drones hum overhead, scanning every inch of land with digital eyes. There is no farmer in sight. This is not science fiction. This is happening right now. But it raises a question that millions of farming families around the world are quietly asking themselves: will the farmers we know today simply become a thing of the past? Agriculture has always evolved, but nothing quite compares to what artificial intelligence is bringing to the field, literally. A powerful tension is growing between generations of traditional farming wisdom and a wave of intelligent technology that promises to completely reshape how the world grows its food. The stakes could not be higher. Before we dive into the future, let us understand the present. Modern farming is far from the romanticized image of golden fields and peaceful harvests. Today's farmers wake up facing a brutal set of challenges that grow harder every single year. Labor shortages are leaving crops unpicked in fields across America, Europe, and Australia. Unpredictable weather patterns driven by climate change are destroying harvests that took months to grow. Input costs for seeds, fertilizers, and fuel keep climbing while profit margins keep shrinking. And looming over everything is one staggering reality. Our planet's population is expected to reach 10 billion people by 2050. That means farmers must produce significantly more food using less land, less water, and fewer resources than ever before. This is not a slow-moving problem. It is an urgent crisis already unfolding in real time, and it demands real solutions. So what exactly is artificial intelligence in agriculture? At its core, it means using technology to collect, analyze, and act on data in ways that help farms run smarter. Think of sensors placed in soil measuring moisture and nutrient levels in real time. Think of satellites capturing detailed images of entire fields, identifying which crops are thriving and which are struggling. Think of machine learning algorithms processing all of that information and recommending exactly when to water, fertilize, or harvest. These systems do not guess. They learn from patterns, improve over time, and make decisions faster and more accurately than any human could manage alone. And here is the important part. This is not science fiction. Farmers in the United States, Europe, Australia, and parts of Asia are already using these tools today. Artificial intelligence has quietly entered agriculture, and it is already changing how food gets grown. Let's get specific about what AI actually looks like on a working farm. Precision farming tools from companies like Trimble and John Deere now analyze soil health at a granular level, mapping nutrient deficiencies across individual field zones so farmers apply fertilizer only where it's truly needed. Smart irrigation systems, like those developed by CropX, use underground sensors and weather data to deliver water with surgical precision, cutting water usage by up to 50% in some regions. Then there are crop monitoring platforms like Plantix and Taranis, which use satellite imagery and machine learning to detect early signs of disease or pest infestation days before any human could spot them with the naked eye. In California's Central Valley, growers using these platforms reported catching fungal infections weeks earlier than traditional scouting methods ever allowed, saving entire harvests from potential devastation. Now let's talk about the machines actually doing the physical work. Robotic harvesters are no longer science fiction. Companies have developed robots capable of picking strawberries and lettuce with remarkable precision, using computer vision to identify ripe produce and mechanical arms gentle enough to avoid bruising delicate crops. These machines can work around the clock, something no human workforce can sustain. Then there are autonomous tractors. John Deere and other major manufacturers have already released self-driving tractor systems that can plow, plant, and till fields without a single driver on board. Farmers can monitor entire operations remotely from a smartphone. Perhaps most impressive are agricultural drone systems. These unmanned aerial vehicles can spray fertilizers or pesticides with pinpoint accuracy, targeting only the areas that need treatment. Studies show this approach can reduce chemical use by up to 40%, protecting both the environment and farm budgets simultaneously. The financial argument for AI in agriculture is compelling and hard to ignore. Studies suggest that precision agriculture technologies can increase crop yields by up to 20%, while simultaneously cutting input costs like water, fertilizer, and pesticides by nearly 30%. For an industry operating on razor-thin margins, those numbers are transformative. AI systems minimize human error, reduce overuse of resources, and catch problems early before they become expensive disasters. A single undetected pest outbreak can devastate an entire season's revenue. AI-powered monitoring prevents exactly that. Major corporations have taken notice. John Deere, Bayer, and Syngenta have collectively invested billions of dollars into AI-driven agricultural platforms over the past decade. Startups focused on agricultural technology, commonly called ag tech, attracted over $10 billion in global investment in recent years alone. This level of corporate commitment signals something significant. AI is not just improving farming. It is fundamentally reshaping the entire agricultural business model from the ground up. But behind every algorithm and autonomous machine, there are real people. Farmers who have worked the same land their grandparents once tilled, who know their soil not through sensors, but through calloused hands and lived experience. For many of them, the rise of AI feels less like progress and more like a threat to everything they have built and everything they are. The skepticism is understandable. Farming is not just an occupation for these communities. It is an identity, a way of life passed down through generations. The idea of handing decisions over to a machine can feel deeply unsettling. And then there is the question of access. For millions of smallholder farmers across sub-Saharan Africa, South Asia, and Latin America, AI-powered tools are not a choice they get to make. Without reliable internet, electricity, or capital, these technologies remain completely out of reach. The concern about job displacement in agriculture is very real and backed by serious data. The World Economic Forum estimates that automation could displace up to 85 million jobs globally across multiple sectors, with agriculture being among the most vulnerable. In the United States alone, approximately 1.3 million farm workers could see their roles significantly reduced by 2040. But history offers important context here. The Industrial Revolution of the 1700s and 1800s wiped out entire categories of manual labor, yet ultimately created entirely new industries and employment categories that nobody had imagined before. Rural communities suffered painful transitions, but economies eventually adapted. AI in farming may represent a strikingly similar inflection point. Smallholder farmers in developing nations across Africa, South Asia, and Latin America face the steepest risks, as automation tends to favor large-scale operations. Whether this transformation uplifts or devastates agricultural communities depends entirely on the choices societies make right now. But here is where the story takes a hopeful turn. Across the world, farmers are discovering that AI does not have to be the enemy. In fact, many are embracing it as their most valuable partner. Take John, a corn farmer in Iowa, who uses an AI-powered app to monitor soil moisture levels and receive daily recommendations on when and how much to irrigate. He spends less time guessing and more time making confident decisions. His yields have improved by 20%, and his water costs have dropped significantly. In Japan, aging rice farmers are using AI-assisted robots to handle the physically demanding tasks of planting and harvesting, reducing injury and exhaustion while keeping their farms productive. These farmers are not being replaced. They are being empowered. The knowledge, experience, and instinct they bring to the land remain irreplaceable. AI simply handles the heavy lifting, giving farmers more time, better data, and greater control over their futures. For AI to truly transform agriculture in a fair and meaningful way, several critical pieces must fall into place. Governments need to step up with strong policy support, funding research, creating incentives, and building rural digital infrastructure that actually reaches remote farming communities. Affordability is equally essential. Right now, many cutting-edge agricultural technologies are priced for large corporations, not smallholder farmers in developing nations. That gap must close through subsidized programs, cooperative ownership models, and open-source platforms designed with accessibility in mind. Digital literacy training is another non-negotiable. Giving a farmer a smart device without proper education is like handing someone a tractor with no instructions. Perhaps most importantly, AI development itself must be guided by ethics and equity. Technology companies need to actively involve farming communities in the design process, ensuring solutions reflect real needs rather than simply chasing maximum profit margins. So, will AI replace farmers? The honest answer is both yes and no. AI will absolutely transform farming in ways we are only beginning to understand. Repetitive tasks, data analysis, and physical labor will increasingly shift to machines. But farming has never been just about tasks. It is about generations of knowledge passed down through families, an intuitive understanding of the land, and a deeply human connection to the earth that no algorithm can truly replicate. A sensor can measure soil moisture, but it cannot feel the weight of a season's hope. As we move forward, the most powerful force in agriculture will not be artificial intelligence alone, but the partnership between human wisdom and machine precision. AI is not the end of farming. It is the beginning of something smarter, more sustainable, and more resilient. The future of farming is not artificial. It is brilliantly human.